After the last Hellfire Gala, everyone wondered, did the mutants survive? Now that we know they have, the real question is, how long? Well, let's hop into the pages of Immortal X-Men issue number 15 and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up more or less from where the last issue left off, Sebastian Shaw and his new partner in crime, Celine, are still desperately trying to strike what's left of the island of Krakoa for resources. The only problem is that their army of Orchis henchmen keep coming back terrified as if they've been chased by some sort of monster. Celine is a psychic and as such could reach into their minds and discover the truth, but she's also a vampire, so where's the fun in that when she can simply just bleed these guys dry, have a little snack, and then inherit all of their memories. She tells Shaw that someone most definitely messed with these guys' minds, someone with amazing mental powers, someone who left no fingerprints behind, meaning that it is almost certainly the work of Xavier. Meaning that if they're going to retake the island, they're going to have to get a little creative. Shaw and Celine also have a fun George Burns and Gracie relationship that they're developing these days. Like, oh Sebastian, is money really the only thing you care about? Oh Celine, my dear, you're psychic, do read my mind. Oh, I have, and yes, I do look lovely. Now, this isn't the only story we're dealing with either. From there, we transition over to Exodus and all the other mutants who escaped the Gala, wherever they are now. They're somewhere in the desert. Hell, they might be somewhere on the desert and they don't even know if they're on planet Earth. That being said, though, they're all pulling their abilities together to try and survive. And yes, much like in the last issue, all the different biblical allusions come fast and furious. Exodus manages to give water to the thirsty. You know, like the water that I give will become in them a spring of water gushing up to eternal life, John 4:13-14. Yeah, bet I never thought I had have the opportunity to utilize all those Sunday school lessons. Yet here we are. It doesn't end there either. Apparently the mutants are surviving because the regenerating mutants are very literally giving up their own flesh and blood for the greater good. You know, eat of my body and all that good junk, but it doesn't end there either. A bunch of the skin-sloughing mutants are actually giving up their skin too, so Jumbo Carnation can make clothing and bags and other stuff that they might need for this long trek to, well, wherever they're going. Exodus continues to say that he's had a vision of a mutant promised land that he'll lead them to. Destiny can't see much of anything right now with her powers damaged. And Hope is just trying to keep everyone together and keep them all inspired, so basically she's living up to her name. Things take a really crazy and unexpected turn though when one night all of the mutants are doing their rounds only to come upon Wolverine attacking Mother Righteous. But wait a minute, Logan can't possibly be here, right? Well, he's not. In fact, there's a whole army of Wasteland Wolverines out there attacking anyone who comes near them. Luckily, Exodus is able to make short work of these imitations. And we're able to quickly see that this is yet another scam operation being pulled off by Mother Righteous, who is of course one of the major architects behind the Hellfire Gala massacre. But no one but us, the reader, actually know that yet. In fact, Mother Righteous throws another curveball at the team too, saying, yeah, I came through the portals because I'm actually a mutant. I've been one this whole time. My powers are like legions. I have a bunch of real tiny powers you just didn't notice because I've dedicated my whole life to mysticism and I'm self-taught too. Also, hey, if you don't want to keep wandering around the desert like chickens with your heads cut off, why don't you join me at my place? Yeah, I already have my own place. I came out wherever we are in a completely different area than you guys, which means I've already set up shop. Again, you can trust me. But we'll come back to this in a minute. After that, we return to the island wherein Xavier comes face to face with the group of Orchis henchmen who have been sent to apprehend him. It seems that Selena has outfitted these guys with brand new psi blockers, meaning that the old tricks aren't going to work on them. We also learned that Celine gave them an extra mission to come back with as many parts from the Krakoan gates as possible because they are connected to the externals, which Celine herself was actually a member of. As we learn too, Xavier scaring these guys away with horrible kaiju nightmares was probably a mercy in its own way, because now when they won't leave, Xavier just kills them the old-fashioned way. Which, while probably feeling cathartic, is bad in the long run, because once these henchmen don't come back to Shaw, he's gonna know something's up, and he's probably gonna send some of those Sentinel robots back in. Meaning that if Professor X doesn't think up a new plan, and soon his days are going to be numbered. Now, back with the other mutants, Mother Righteous does indeed lead them back to her base of operations, which is revealed to be an oasis, but not just any oasis, it's the Atlantic part of Krakoa. The one that she herself had stolen away in her lantern during the big attack itself. Obviously, the mutants are absolutely overjoyed now that they brought a little piece of home with them. But much like the reader, Exodus and a bunch of the others are still suspicious. After all, the desert just doesn't have killer animals in it. As Exodus explains, the desert has has also been home to Satan, the liar and the deceiver, and as the comic comes to a close, we actually smash cut over to what looks to be a much older looking Apocalypse, complete with more Wolverine and maybe even a Jean clone. How did he get here? What does it mean? I don't know, but you bet I'll be picking up the next issue to try and figure it all out. And so that was Immortal X-Men issue number 15, everybody, and once again, Kieran Gillen does a great job spinning one a hell of a yarn and keeping several different narrative plates spinning at the same time. I like Xavier having his own Ozymandias no man is an island moment, mainly because it's super cool, but also kind of a punishment. He's had a long time coming for a lot of his bad behavior and a lot of his failures when it came to ruling Krakoa. Likewise, I think it's going to be important later that Celine has her own motivations for joining forces with Shaw and by extension Orchis that actually don't seem to connect to the rest of mutant society and what's going on there. Gillen as a writer has always been really good on doing mechanics, and I like how they really have fleshed out how these mutants are surviving in exile in this weird desert, while also reminding us that somewhere out there is the rest of mutant kind, as they are actually missing 4 of the members of the 5 and as such are still cut off from their resurrection protocols. Hell, this issue seeks to imply that wherever Exodus and the other mutants are, they might not be on Earth, they might not even be in the modern time period anymore, and considering we see an older looking Apocalypse, yeah, maybe they got sent into the future. All in all, some pretty cool stuff, and I can't wait to see what happens next in this series, which is why I give it another very positive 8 out of 10.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.